Hi, I'm Annie and I am part of the Love Your Neighbour team supporting churches up and down the country. Love Your Neighbour is a national initiative which seeks to inspire a fresh movement of practical love for our neighbour. It includes over 2,300 churches and other civil society organisations such as schools, NHS clinics, government organisations, local government, local councils, local community groups, mutual aid groups, all kinds of other organisations who are working together to meet the needs of the most vulnerable in their communities. We have our neighbours on our streets, but we have those that we know through our work, and we have those who we might see on the streets every day. There are lots of people who we all come into contact with every day. In our society, it's so easy to not know the needs of those who are nearest to us, as well as those who are all across the country. So we already know that the pandemic affected those who were already struggling the most. So it took people from situations that might have been difficult but manageable to real crisis situations. And all of that meant that a lot of people also needed additional crisis support, such as food support, baby basics, or other emergency support. So Love Your Neighbour started as an emergency crisis response when the COVID-19 pandemic started in March 2020. It was an initial local parish response. We looked around at the needs of our congregation and those in the wider community who we knew we would be really struggling as all the food was wiped off the shelves. We knew that people wouldn't have access to food and would be also really lonely. And over the months that followed during that first lockdown, we found that there were really beautiful partnerships that were formed between different churches of different denominations, just working together, figuring out what were some of the best ways to run some of these response initiatives. The role of the church in supporting and rebuilding communities post-pandemic is to address crisis needs, to address the root cause of poverty and other social issues, and to provide wraparound care for people who are in need. Crisis support might look like providing support through food banks and debt advice programs. And wraparound care looks like journeying with people, coming alongside them, ensuring that nobody's lonely in our society where it's quite easy to be lonely. Providing that full holistic care for people who are in need. So the vision for Love Your Neighbour in 2022 is to continue adding fuel to the fire of what is already going on in grassroots organisations up and down the UK. So we'd love to be seeking more funding for churches and other organisations to grow the work that they're doing. We'd love to be providing training resources to equip churches and other organisations to become centres of social transformation in their area, to become best practice players in this space. We'd love to be doing more campaigns to enable churches to be part of a national mosaic of what is going on across the country, and to be communicating this more widely with the government, with the media, and to shine a light on what the church is doing and to demonstrate this is the work of the church and its partner organisations across the UK.